in connection to pollution problem in your city. The Supreme Court once again coming down heavily on the Commission for Air Quality Management, which is the CAQM, for failing to curb stubble burning as yet another year of pollution season for Delhi looms.
That's right. The Supreme Court has slammed the panel, saying that it made no effort to implement its direction to stop stubble burning. It also rapped the state governments of Punjab and Haryana for collecting just nominal compensation from farmers burning paddy stubble, leading to poor quality of air in the national capital. It's also pointed out to 2 points of NGOs that are vacant, while 2 air pollution experts do not have requisite qualification. The court has called for a report from the centre and the CAQM in this regard within a week. And we have my colleague Shreya joining us. Shreya, of course, the Supreme Court coming down heavily, saying that really nothing's been done. Everything is just on paper. Only discussions are happening. Nothing really is being done in order to prevent the pollution season from starting. Like every year we have this perennial problem, but really no solutions at hand.
That's right. The winter season is approaching in 8 weeks or so. And soon, the landmarks here, like the India Gate, where I am currently present at, will be shrouded in a toxic blanket of smog. And as the Supreme Court has criticized the Commission of Air Quality Management that no concrete steps have been taken to curb stubble burning, which is one of the major causes of air pollution in the national capital region, and also the neighboring states where stubble burning is at an all-time high in the winter months from November to December. Of course, the Commission has responded by saying that they have set up a special task force wherein 40 teams, inspection teams, will be making incognito checks and will take punitive action against the violators and will implement concrete steps. But these kind of measures, as suggested by the Commission of Air Quality Management, it doesn't seem to be as effective, because as many as 200 incidents of stubble burning has been reported in the last 2 weeks. And this stubble burning, along with other reasons like the vehicular emission and industrial activity, construction activity around the Delhi NCR regions, is a major cause for the rising air pollution in the national capital. Let me show you the visual here. It's quite clear, sunny sky today, and the air quality seems normal, but we know for a fact that in 4 to 5 weeks from now the air quality will deteriorate. And let me tell you that the construction work around this area, around the India Gate area, is one of the contributing factors for the deteriorating air quality. And as far as the action taken by Commission for Air Quality Management is concerned, they have set up 40 inspection teams that will sort of take concrete action in curbing stubble burning, leading to better air quality hopefully this year. Over to you.
All right. Thank you, Shreya, for bringing us all those details. So as you're saying, experts believe that air quality is going to be on a decline in the city of Delhi once again, which is quite a cause of concern. Divya, despite so many measures being taken, as they are taking these measures, it's the same situation every day in the city. For more on this, Divya, let's go to Zerin Osho, who's the Director, India Program Institute for Governance and Sustainable Development. Thank you, Zerin, for joining us on this discussion. So every year it's the same story in the national capital. Supreme Court coming down heavily on the pollution panel yesterday, saying nothing is happening to address Delhi's pollution. Court also observing that there is hardly any implementation on grassroots level as far as CAQM orders are concerned, and no action against those burning stubble. So unless there is prosecution, nobody is going to bother about it. These are some of the important observations made by the bench in the Supreme Court. Do you agree with this assessment, one? And where do you see the gaps? And why do you think there's no change on the ground?
Thank you so much for having me on the show this morning, Radhika. It's always a pleasure to be back. Firstly, I think maybe a controversial and an unpopular opinion from my side, I think the courts need to fully understand what the process of air pollution looks like. If you look at the CAQM rules, the notifications made by the CAQM, or even the pollution control boards across different states that we work with, you'll see a lot of the symptoms being treated rather than the cause. So you will have a lot of anti-smoke guns being put out. There will be a lot of discussion about having sprinklers and water being thrown around so that you settle the black carbon emissions and dust. Again, that doesn't treat the cause of the underlying problem. And what really needs to be done by the Supreme Court, and this is where I think Supreme Court, even though it's acting in a bona fide manner with the right intention to question the CAQM, which it absolutely must, there are things that the NGT, the National Green Tribunal, and the Apex Court, the Supreme Court, does when it passes a judgment, which is to give unreliable timelines to fix issues. And I can give you an example of landfill remediation in the state of Delhi and the neighboring states, of course, with whom Delhi shares an airshed, so to say. And what you've seen is a problem that has been in existence for about 30 years cannot be solved in 3 months. And the court will give unrealistic timelines for the right reasons, of course. And what that has caused is the local municipalities to incinerate waste, for example. Now, it's a very simple shortcut solution to making sure that your problem of waste management completely goes away. But when you incinerate waste, you're producing huge emissions of black carbon, volatile organic compounds, and PM 2.5, PM 10, which is a carcinogen, which is several levels higher than what the WHO prescribes as the natural sort of permissible limit. So I think the court, to some extent, whatever is the court doing in terms of questioning and rounding up the CAQM is the right thing to do. But I think some handle on the reality of what is possible and the right timelines needs to also be taken into consideration. I think that is my sort of an unpopular view in my opinion, I think, compared to the rest of the opinion that is floating out there. And again, I think the problem is you cannot solve the symptoms until you take care of the causation. So solving for symptoms does not work. And a lot of the CAQM and Pollution Control Board policies look at solving the symptoms rather than the source of emission. And I can speak more about how some of the solutions that have been proposed by the CAQM or the National Clean Air Program actually are seasonal. So the times when the air pollution peaks, we'll say demolition, there's a ban on demolition. But the problem is there is a reason that you let that entire air pollution problem grow to a point that you have to ban it rather than standardize what the operation should be.
Right, Zareen.